Would you pay $869 for a 4-hour, 250-mile Lyft? And drivers, would you take this Lyft for $134? Hi, my name is Levi Spires. This is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. Today's Daily Drive podcast is brought to you by the Gig You app. Now let's do the math. First, I don't know if there's much math to it, but somehow this trip was priced, if I were to order this Lyft when I saw this ride come in, at $869 for a basic Lyft. We're not talking like a luxury SUV or anything. So it was priced at $869. But let's do the math from a driver's perspective. The fare was paying $134 to go 243 miles one way, 60 miles to the gallon on my Prius. So at 4 gallons of gas, we're talking fuel price, let's say on the low end, $4, $16 in fuel cost, round trip, $32 because I got to get back. I can't drive to New York City and sleep there. I got to come home. So my profit would have been $101. 8 hours of driving, that's 4 hours there, 4 hours back. That's $12 in profit per hour. Even if I were to get a $50 tip, we're talking like $18 an hour. And there's no way that person's tipping me $50. So I see something like this and I get offended. I'm sure you, as a driver, get offended. Why would Lyft charge $800 and pay me $134? Now, I tried to shop this around a little bit, and I did find that if I reserved the Lyft ahead of time, so I tried to reserve the Lyft at the exact same time that this reservation, because this is a Lyft reservation, was showing, Lyft was charging $239. And I'm also offended. Lyft, why would you charge $239? None of this makes any sense. And it's frustrating. It's offensive as a driver. And my blood boils. And this happens with Uber. This happens with DoorDash. This is not a Lyft thing. These gig apps do this. They either overcharge the passenger way too much, $800, or they undercharge and then they underpay the driver. And I don't understand it. And that's what's so frustrating about it. And I sit there and I think to myself, why? Why do this? Then I take a breath and I think to myself, I didn't take that trip. Now, somebody maybe did. There's a part of me that was kind of like, I hope whoever that person that needs to get from Ithaca to Newark misses their flight, because I hope no Lyft driver took it. This is a bitter, and that's not a way to go through life. That's not a way to go through life. Let me show you. There was other trips that were offered at roughly that same day or whatever. There was a $6 one and a $20 trip right there in the same Ithaca area. And those would have profited. Let's assume I got a tip, a $1 tip on the $6 one, maybe, I don't know. And then a $5 tip on the $20 trip. It would have paid $72 an hour in profitability and $134 an hour in profitability. And maybe I would have had to wait. Maybe there's some other things, but they paid really well. This is after expenses, and that's fuel. I know there's maintenance and depreciation. There's some other costs, but I just wanted to make it comparable. My point is this. I don't have to get offended. I didn't take the trip. It's like seeing something on the road. Okay, I like the Cybertruck. So I post a picture of myself next to the Cybertruck on this YouTube channel and other places. And then people comment, oh my God, how gross. They get offended. And I'm like, why would you get offended? You're not driving the truck. Why do you care? And I think to myself, so what? Lyft priced something well below what I would have taken, well below minimum wage. And I get offended. There's no need to. There was other trips to take. There's other apps I could drive. There's other things to do with my time. Another way to think about it is this. Imagine you go to the mall and you go in the food court. And you go in the food court, there's the Chinese place, there's the pita place, there's the pizza place, there's Taco Bell, there's whatever. There's all these places. There's 20 different places to choose from. And it would be like me. I would never go to, I don't know, let's say the pita place. And they've got falafel wraps. And I look at it and I go, well, that food is gross. Look at how gross that place is in there. And then look at the price. Why are they charging $20 for this? And just getting really offended when I would never go there anyway. When I would probably just go to Taco Bell and get some sort of steak thing. We have choices in our lives. And so I don't have to be offended. Now, there's a part of our responsibility as drivers, especially a driver like me or whoever else that creates content, to call attention to this to some extent, to put this in front of people. And thankfully, there's 20 some odd thousand subscribers, and a lot of my videos get thousands of views. And so, yeah, maybe it's important for me to at least say, wow, Lyft is underpricing this trip. Uber wants to pay me $1.50 to do an Uber Eats order or whatever. And so there's a part of calling it out. But to be offended, to get emotionally involved is not healthy for me. So that's why I wanted to make this podcast today to my fellow drivers is you are a more than capable human of doing a lot of great things. Maybe delivering food and people is one of them, but maybe you're really talented at writing stories or making YouTube videos or playing golf. I'm thinking about things that I like to do. I don't know, whatever you like to do. Maybe you're a talented electrician or you want to go to law school. There's ways to make money in life. And these apps are designed, these algorithms are designed to get the lowest possible price from drivers. And why I may not have taken that trip, somebody decided to. And maybe it's important for us to call it out so they don't take that trip in the future. But one of them, I assume, took it for $134. Now, there are times when I take trips to New York City from Syracuse and Ithaca and Binghamton and wherever else because, hey, I got a son that lives in New York City. And it's like a paid trip to go see him. And if I can schedule a reservation and put something in the trunk of the car for him, something that mom made so he gets a special meal or whatever, that's kind of cool. It's just important for us to remember it's not personal. It's business. And yeah, there's laws and there's other things, but I don't know. None of us are going to fix these algorithms. None of our things. We have to just ignore it and move on. Take the $20 trip, not the $134 one. Now, passengers, if you've watched this far into the video, thank you. Understand your drivers are trying their best to make money. I did a trip yesterday where the passenger paid $140 for a trip to the airport and I made $55. And the real funny thing was the passenger, I called him. I was like, hey, this is an hour-long trip. I need to use the restroom. I'm going to go to a gas station. Would you like me to get you some water? And the passenger's like, yeah, that'd be great. So I picked up a water for myself and a water for the passenger. I went to the restroom. Then I went to go pick up this passenger. We had an hour-long trip and it was a great trip. He didn't tip me. And I paid for his water. So passengers, remember that your drivers are trying to do this to be kind and be nice, but they're doing this to make money. And odds are they're making somewhere between maybe as little as a quarter to half of whatever you're paying on that trip. And just be aware of it. And if the driver is worthy of it, if the driver's earned it by their professionalism, their cleanliness, whatever it was, be kind and leave a tip, especially if they bought you water. But yeah, let's not get offended because there are business entities doing business that you and I don't have to do business with. We don't have to take the $134 ride. There's the $20 ride sitting right out there. Perfect for us to make more money. Drivers, let me know. Would you have taken this trip? Riders, what do you feel? Do you feel it's of any value knowing that your drivers are getting paid less and less and less? Are you worried or concerned about the quality of the cars or the quality of the drivers? let me know in the comments. Let's get to your questions and comments. Halloum Babab, I think that's what it is. Halloum Babab says my Prius makes more. Oh, that's my video. He says, do you think people tip more because of a nicer car? He goes, but to do rides for Uber, I use my newer car mostly, and sometimes when I just do Uber Eats, I use my older car. See, this is what we're talking about, the trade-offs, because the goal is to get tips. And he just basically, found out that his Sentra doesn't qualify. But anyway, does the newer car, better car, earn more tips? Probably in the long run, sure. Like if you were to measure over a given year, a better car would probably earn a little bit more money than a lower quality car. But is it measurable and is it worth it? Probably not. I've been driving in my Prius now for about a week since my Tesla went down, and I get about the same amount of tips. Nobody's complained. Not a single passenger has gotten in my car and complained. Now, my Prius is still new. It's a 2022. It's not an old car, and it's in great shape. Got leather interior. I'm a good driver. It's clean. So I don't think it's the quality of the car. I think it's the quality of the driver and the cleanliness of the car and the professional, how smooth you drive as a driver. That's where your ability as a driver will be to get tips. Now, here's the truth. There are people that tip and there are people that don't. And the hard thing for us is to find ways to discover who are the people that tip and pick them up. And quite frankly, if people are non-tippers, leave them on the side of the road. So find ways to do that. So people that order pay for higher fares, priority, comfort, people that are going to the airport, people that are coming from hotels, those are some of the ways, but definitely passenger rating is a key thing. 5-star passengers tend to tip more than lower rated passengers. So look for that. At least that's what I try to do. Patrick Saint E says, you hit the nail on the head with this video. Thank you. I appreciate it. And this is coming from a 10-year Uber driver. So veteran, nice. Somebody that's been doing a lot longer than me. Says, yes, it's less money than before, but I always tell every driver and every non-driver, it still pays more than your typical job, and barrier to entry is a lot easier. Because when I first started, I was making $700 to $800 a day. Now I'm making somewhere between $250 to $450, maybe $500. That's kind of like me. But he goes, let's see, I'm sorry. He says, I mean, those aren't dramatic differences, but over time you see it where the gap comes from. But it's either way, most people know I make 120 to 150 a day, and that's working 8 hours, and I don't work that long. So the numbers are whatever. But yes, the problem is, going back to the original part of this video, let's say I got that $50 tip on that $134 ride, and I only made $18 an hour after I paid for my gas. Not even talking about wear and tear, maintenance on the vehicle, depreciation, or anything else like that. And I know McDonald's pays $18.50, so it pays less than the $18.50 to do this Uber ride with the $50 tip. Why is it better than McDonald's? Number one, it's easier. I don't smell like French fries when I'm done. It's not physically as demanding. Though sitting for long periods of time is a challenge. Half of that trip was me hanging out in my car, probably listening to a podcast by myself, is whatever. But I also get freedom of time, and that's such a critical thing that nobody really talks about. You can't compare gig work hourly rates to other job hourly rates, because other job hourly rates set your schedule. They demand when you're going to be there. So they pay a premium for that to some extent. So even if a gig work pays a little bit less than an hourly job, you get your time. And I think about that all the time with me. I made much more money as an accountant, but I lost my time. Not only did my job as an accountant, working at a startup and working with great co-work boss and everything was great. I made a lot more money. I made double, triple than what I make now. But it required all of my time, 50, 60 hours a week, mental energy. Even when I'm not working, I had reports and assignments, emails, phone calls. It was my time and my energy. Where Uber driving, I don't know. When I want to go make some money, I turn it on and go make some money. When I'm done, I'm done. That's so good. So yes, measuring hour to hourly rate, one thing, but considering time is really important. So great call, Patrick. Okay. Versa says, how often do you receive tips 1+ day after the trip? How does that affect your average numbers? Well, I don't know. I don't measure that. So I don't measure ride to ride. So when people ask me ride to ride questions, I'm kind of using just my gut feeling on that. But I typically get 1 to 2 to 3 tips a day or two or a week later. Like the guy I took to the airport yesterday, I'm hoping he still tips me. It was a great ride and I paid for his water. You'd think he might tip me $5 or something. But so that may come in later. So maybe 1 out of 100 trips tip me over past 24 hours, I'm guessing. The goal is this. You can't measure everything trip to trip to trip. It's just too difficult. It's better to measure things on bigger scales. How much did I make last month compared to this month? That's so much more. Last year to this year. Because you can take bigger actions off of that. You want to know the differences between different things, but I don't have spreadsheets or the time to put all that analysis together. It's fun to do a video every now and then, but to measure it over a long period of time, I just don't know that kind of data. Drivers for 2026. Check out the sponsors, by the way. Gig U, Red Tiger, LaceFit. Thank you so much. Check those guys out. Drivers for 2026. I want you to have more fun doing this gig. I know that's what I want to do. So last year I got burned out just trying to chase as much money as I possibly can make on this gig. And it gets tiring and frustrating trying to beat the algorithm. And I just know I can't do it. There are many of you, every time I post earnings, many of you tell me that you're better than me. And I'm going to tell you, yes, you are. You are better than me. You're so much better than me. You should make your own YouTube channel. Tell people how to do it. But yeah, I want to enjoy the gig. The reason why I became a driver was because I wanted my time back. And I lost it a little bit last year trying to work the overnight shift, make more money, chasing surges. And it was just more difficult. So I'm taking a little bit less this year to enjoy the ride. I'm not saying you should do that, but I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. I want you to make as much money as possible, but understand the trade-offs. That's what I'm looking for in 2026. So yeah, go check out the Tip You in the App Facebook group. Become a member here on the channel if you can. My name is Levi Spires. I'm an Uber driver here in Syracuse, New York, and I am cheering for you guys. I really am. Be well. Bye.